And what is the change that Jane Weidman saw?
Well, the SAB numbers.
Oh,
So we'll make that, there are 15 actually SABs at this point.
Oh, okay.
There will be next year too.
It's in the text.
Right, it's in one of the charts.
All right.
The last page, page 6.
Okay, so we'll note that amendment. Are there any other questions about the plan of service?
I just had a correction. Contra Costa County Library for page P32. Am I in the right place? You left out Costa.
Oh,
Contra County.
okay. I want to say something about the plan of service, about the stories. You know, I kind of decided that I didn't feel like using old figures that we had, and we didn't really have anything new with numbers, and which is what we've been using. So that's why I sent out this email saying to people, what's happening to you? What's the economic downturn doing to you in major cities, and how is it affecting your libraries? And people wrote back to me, and I just couldn't edit it. They were so compelling. The stories, if you read them, are really compelling that came back about people's cuts and what's happening to them. It's kind of like I think I was a therapist, and people were getting out and having catharsis. So if you have a time, if there's any part you want to read that, because it's really as they wrote it.
And for staff, if you're noting the change, it's page 32 at the end of the Contra Costa County thing. It just says Contra County Library, so we'll just change that.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
Monterey County Free Libraries, it's not written correctly in that.
Okay, so Monterey Free County Library also.
Monterey County Free Libraries.
Monterey County Free Libraries is one moment.
Okay.
Yes?
And with Palo Alto, it's Palo Alto City Library.
Palo Alto City Library. Anyone else who has changes to the names of their library can just send them to us, and
You better hand them to us in writing.
well, email can work too with the
Yeah.
cut and paste. And okay, then failing, are there any other comments? In that case, I would accept a motion to approve the plan of service for 2010-11.
So moved.
A second? Second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? So that concludes our action items. This is a time for public comment on our agenda. If there are any members of the public who wish to address us. Boy, talk about good timing. I want that lunch arrives.
No, wait a minute. There's one more small thing. We're diverting from Terry's plan here. And I have a, yes, on our agenda. I have one more comment to make about the VTOP grant. And, which is a grant. Yeah, I will. The broadband grant from the federal government.
The error.
Part of ERA. And it's from the NTIA, the National Transportation Agency, Information Agency. And we applied.
Because there's rattling.
Okay, we applied. Any more instructions there? We applied for one last year. In fact, I was looking at the minutes from last year. It says, you know, we were going to apply. Well, in August we applied. It was a statewide grant. And we had a number of our libraries apply, and it was very sophisticated, and the people reading it just weren't going to give any money to somebody that wanted to do teleconferencing. That was beyond that. So we went back to plain vanilla. We have written a grant for libraries across the state, and PLP, there are 10 jurisdictions involved and 31 libraries in those 10 jurisdictions. Will get laptops and a database, the job database, which just escaped me. Help me, Terry. A Learning Express database, an accelerator, and that, and also broadband if you don't have appropriate broadband and for wireless. So there will be money in that for some telecommunications too. That grant was rated number 2, Ira, in the, yes. Yep, was rated number 2 by the state as a highly prioritized grant for funding to NTIA. That doesn't mean anything, you understand. NTIA is saying, who cares what California says? And as I understand it, a delegation from California recently went to NTIA and said, you know, we're really a big state and we sent all these grants in last time and we got about, what, 5 of them funded? And so, and the city of Los Angeles walking away with the biggest. So we are hoping that we actually will get this grant. It's not, in the scheme of things, it's not a big grant for them to fund. It's about $2 million. The other one was like $9 million. So we're really hopeful that that one will go forward and that libraries will get some money from this. It's a lot of work.
Well, it was a lot of work. I'm glad you mentioned it, because I meant when I was talking about this past year, you know, I think I know staff spent a tremendous amount of effort on the application that in the end was not funded. And I know a lot of us put a lot of time into that too. But, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I think for us, it was also an indication that in a lot of ways we're ahead of our times. That, you know, we are able, part of because of the way we work together, we are able to think bigger and more regionally than would be typically across the country. And sometimes other people just don't know how to deal with that. Like, it's hard for them to evaluate. But I did want to thank all of you who worked on that, and certainly the staff who really worked really hard on that. And it was a bit of a blow that we were unable to get it funded. So with that, I think that we are adjourned. I want to thank you all for coming today and giving us so much of your time. We'll have lunch and
Executive committee stay.
the executive committee is stuck afterwards, but we're starting early. So thank you all.
Yeah.